Your adventure begins here.
Hey everyone, and welcome. If you've been dreaming of standing right in the heart of the Himalayas, just completely surrounded by those massive snow-capped giants, then you've absolutely come to the right place. Today, we are breaking down the complete SG TREK guide to the legendary Annapurna Base Camp. We're going to cover everything from your pre-flight prep to what life is actually like on the trail. Let's dive in. So let's just start with a number, 4,130 meters. That's over 13,500 feet. And you know what? This isn't just some random altitude. This is your destination. This is the height of Annapurna Base Camp, this incredible, breathtaking amphitheater of mountains that is the goal of this entire journey. You know, every great adventure really begins long before you even set foot on the trail. Your success and, let's be honest, your enjoyment in the Himalayas is all about smart preparation. So this first section is your pre-flight checklist. We're covering the absolute essentials you need to get handled before you even think about packing your bags. We basically boiled it down to 4 super crucial tasks. First up, your visa for Nepal, and a pro tip, pre-fill the form online to save a ton of time. Second, and we're going to talk a lot more about this, is getting comprehensive insurance. Third, you gotta have cash for all those on-the-ground expenses. And finally, packing the right gear. Seriously, if you nail these 4 things, you are setting yourself up for a smooth and successful adventure. Okay, let's focus on insurance for a second, because this one is completely non-negotiable. Your policy must, and I mean must, cover emergency evacuation up to 4,500 meters. This isn't just a friendly recommendation, it's a mandatory safety requirement from SG TREK. When you're in the mountains, trust me, the right insurance plan is the most important piece of gear you have. All right, now for the fun part, gear. The golden rule here is layering. Think a base layer to wick away sweat, a fleece for warmth, and a waterproof shell for wind and rain. But your most important item? Your trekking boots. And they have to be broken in. Please do not show up with brand new boots. You'll also need a warm sleeping bag, a day pack for your daily stuff, and a personal first aid kit with things like Diamox for altitude and lots of sunscreen. Okay, so you've done the prep, you've packed your bags, and you have finally landed in Nepal. The energy of Kathmandu, it just hits you immediately. The good news is SG TREK makes your arrival completely seamless, getting you from the airport right to the brink of the Himalayas with total ease. So, once you clear immigration and you grab your luggage at the airport, your first task is super simple. Just look for the SG TREK signboard. A friendly face from our local team will be right there waiting to pick you up and take you to the hotel. No stress, no hassle, just a warm Nepali welcome to kick things off. Now, once you're at the hotel, you'll get your official SG TREK duffel bag, and you need to pay close attention to the weight limit here. 12 to 15 kilograms is the absolute max. You'll repack only what you need for the trek into this bag. Everything else, it stays safely at the hotel. This limit is so crucial for the safety and well-being of the porters who are going to be carrying these bags for you. So with all the logistics handled, let's get to the heart of it all. What is it actually like to trek to Annapurna Base Camp? This part covers the daily rhythm, the places you'll stay, the food you'll eat, and the incredible people who make this whole journey possible. This simplified itinerary gives you a really cool bird's-eye view of your ascent. And notice how steady that climb is. You'll start your trek from Chamrong on day 3 at just over 2,100 meters. Then, by day 6, you're making that final push from Dharauli all the way to Annapurna Base Camp at 4,130 meters. You can really see the gradual acclimatization that's expertly built right into the schedule. So, where do you actually sleep on the trail? Well, in places called Teahouses. Now, forget 5-star hotels. These are simple, family-run lodges that are the absolute heart and soul of the trekking community. They offer a warm bed, hot food, and a chance to connect with fellow trekkers and your awesome Nepali guides. It's really important to set the right expectations here. As you can see, teahouses are pretty basic. You'll probably be in a shared room using a shared bathroom. Things like hot showers, Wi-Fi, and charging your devices, well, they usually come with a small fee, maybe a few dollars. It's all just part of the authentic mountain experience. Okay, this is a really important cultural and practical point. The trail is considered holy, so meat is prohibited. That's why SG TREK recommends a vegetarian diet for the entire trek. And honestly, it's a smart choice anyway because the freshness of meat at high altitudes can be, well, questionable. The dal bhat, the momos, and the Sherpa stew are all delicious and they will totally power you up that mountain. So you're not going to be carrying that 15-kilogram duffel bag yourself. And this simple ratio explains how. For every 2 trekkers, there is 1 porter. These are incredibly strong individuals, truly the backbone of the expedition. They carry your main gear, so you can just trek with a light day pack and enjoy the views. All right, let's talk business. A smart adventurer is a prepared one, and that means really understanding the costs, what's covered, and what happens when, things don't go exactly according to plan. This is the important fine print that makes sure there are no surprises along the way. So this table gives you a super clear breakdown. Your package includes the big things: your domestic flights, all the permits and fees, your guide and porter services, Teahouse lodging, and most of your meals on the trek. Now, what you need to budget for separately are things like your international flight, your Nepal visa, that all-important travel insurance, and of course, tips and personal spending money. This is the million-dollar question for any trek in Nepal that involves a domestic flight, right? The mountain weather is king, and it is notoriously unpredictable. So what actually happens if your flight from Kathmandu to Pokhara gets delayed or, worse, canceled? Okay, here's the policy laid out clearly. Any extra costs that come from a delay, like another night in a hotel or rebooking fees, that's your responsibility. And this is exactly why that comprehensive travel insurance we talked about earlier is your ultimate safety net. It's there to cover these unexpected but totally possible scenarios. Now, tipping is a standard and really important part of the trekking culture in Nepal. SG TREK operates on a mandatory group tipping system, which works out to about $100 per client for the whole trip. This is collected and then distributed among your hardworking guides and porters to thank them for getting you to base camp and back home safely. So, we've covered it all: preparation, arrival, life on the trail, and that essential fine print. The single most important takeaway from all of this is pretty simple. Thorough preparation is what turns the dream of seeing the Annapurnas into an incredible, life-changing reality. The mountains have a way of testing you and rewarding you in equal measure. This journey is absolutely going to challenge you, physically and mentally. But the payoff, standing in that incredible sanctuary of rock and ice, is something you will never, ever forget. So the only question left really is, are you ready?
Contact our expert for more information.